Carlton. Welcome in Holland, Vanessa.
Thank you.
So your debut album, Be Not Nobody, is doing really well in America, I heard.
Yes.
So
yes,
congratulations.
well. Thank you.
It's coming out in Holland pretty soon too. So where did the story of success begin then?
Well, I didn't know that I was going to make a record. I was very into ballet dancing for years and years. And I kind of, I'd always played piano. My mom was a pianist and she taught me to play. But it wasn't until I was about 16 or 17 that I started writing songs while I was at ballet school. And it kind of overtook what I was doing at the school, just going up and playing songs and writing music. It was becoming far more important to me than anything else. So I was studying ballet in New York City, and I stayed there after I quit the school and just played gigs everywhere and eventually landed a recording contract, which ended up being the easiest part of the whole thing. But I was working on the record for a couple years, and here I am.
What was it in music that you found what you missed maybe in ballet?
Well, what happened was I was studying at a school that it was supposed to be an art school, but I really felt like a puppet, and I didn't feel like I had the freedom to kind of be who I was as an artist. And it's really hard when you're 15, 16, and you're kind of, it's hard enough to be growing up at that age anyway, but then to have something that you love so much kind of disappear and not know where it went was very traumatic for me. So I did kind of rush back to the piano and played whenever I could. I started skipping dance classes to play. So it's kind of saved me.
It was maybe the freedom that you could express yourself in the way that
there was
wanted.
no rules and no one was telling me what to do.
Okay, I'm gonna watch your first video, 1,000 Miles, which is doing really well also here. You just said that you needed a certain freedom to express yourself in your art. But I should think that music is really difficult to have that freedom because there are so many people telling you maybe what to do. Isn't that way with you?
No. No one was telling me. I mean, once you sign a recording contract, there are other people that are kind of invested in you as an artist, which is kind of tricky. But I'm very proud because I was able to maintain boundaries and made sure that kind of my artistic vision was never tainted by the business side of things. And I knew after going through what I did at dance school, I would never let it happen to me again. So I was really aware of that, and it's really important for me to preserve that freedom and that control over what I'm doing.
Because you just said that was the easiest part of recording the album?
Yeah, the easiest part was getting my contract.
Getting the contract.
Then after that, it is a fight to really maintain those boundaries. But I did it. I definitely did it. And that's why, I can hold my album in my hands and be proud and know that it's my vision and no one else's.
Because the next video we will see is Ilse de Lange. She's an artist from Holland who sings, well, it's a bit of pop, country, rock. And she had a contract to release an album in America, which was really hard because people kept on telling her how to behave, how to look, maybe change it a little, because then it would suit more to the American market. Was that not the case when you signed the contract? Was that not the case that people...
I wasn't going to sign the contract unless I knew that I was going to have certain freedoms. There were people that approached me and wanted me to kind of change who I was, not sing my own songs, dress differently. And I just would walk out of those meetings and I didn't pursue it. So I made sure from the beginning that I was going to get my way, not listen to anyone else.
Okay. So then you had the contract and then you had to make the album.
Yes.
Do you consider that as the hardest part?
Once I got into the studio, it was actually a couple of years before I really found my place and my just being aware of myself as a producer in the studio. So the first about I guess it was 2.5 years, it was kind of trial and error, working with different people, figuring out how I was going to translate my songs of just me on the piano to these arrangements of records. And then when I finally stepped into the studio, which was about 8 months ago, to record the album that you'll hear, it was it was just, I loved every day. I mean, every day it was just like put one foot in front of the other, and we chipped away at it slowly but surely, and I knew we were doing great work, and it kind of came into my own as a producer in the studio as well, and really knowing what other instruments and what other sounds should be there with me and the piano. So.
Because it seems to me really difficult, because you're not only recording your first album, you just kind of looking your way how to get your songs right on the album, and then the technical stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, did you learn a lot from working in the studio? Did you?
I mean, it was a crash course. Absolutely, I learned a lot in a very small amount of time, and I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it, and it's a journey. It's definitely a journey, but it's all good. It's all good.
So we're gonna see a video of Norah Jones right now. I really love her music.
She has a beautiful voice.
Yes. So it seems now that there are lots of artists coming out who play an instrument after the Britneys and the Christinas we had from America.
Yeah.
There are coming so many artists who can play instruments right now.
It's nice to see.
Yeah. Is it a trend or?
God, I would hope that playing an instrument never becomes a trend.
No, me
but
too.
I guess it seems that way only because there are these stages in music where, the market will become saturated with just really poppy type songs that you couldn't really define one instrument in the track. But this is real music. This is the way it should be. Seeing these artists come out, so I feel lucky to be a part of, kind of the resurgence of real musicianship, and it's nice to look to my either side and see artists that are really, really talented, to be a part of them and to have them as peers.
Okay, well, let's go and watch that video of Norah Jones. Norah Jones shows a bit of a jazzy side. It's a bit jazzy, a bit country.
She's a jazz singer.
Yeah, so did you like kind of choose to be more pop oriented, or was it just that it came out? Or do you not
nothing about what I do is contrived, and some everyone interprets it differently too. Not everyone would say it's pop oriented, but I mean, there's definitely pop elements in it. If you were to sit at a piano and kind of before you touch the keys have a plan, I don't think it would come out as well. So I never go into. I was never, like contriving my sound or trying to create something that was not natural. Whatever comes out, comes out.
Because how does that work? You write the lyrics and you write the music part, considering your piano. But then all the other music instruments, do other people write them? Do other people think of them? Do you do that together?
It's actually a combination, because you bring in these musicians and you hope that they kind of can immerse themselves in the song and that they can really understand where you're coming from. And it's just like sharing your creative, energy in a room and kind of bouncing back and forth from each other, and then really kind of cleaning it up at the end and picking parts. And, nothing is going to end up on the record without me approving it and loving it and feeling like it's supposed to be there. But it's definitely, when you're arranging with other musicians, it's a group effort, because,
yes.
You can't just use someone for their skills. I mean, they have their own art as well. So in that sense, it's kind of, it's a creative collaboration in a sense.
And what song on the album do you think was just perfect, was just exactly how you had it in mind?
Well, none of the songs would end up on the album unless I felt that way about them. So I would say, every one. But, there were some surprises. Prince is a track that I didn't expect it to go so... It reminds me of something very timeless. It's kind of 70s, and there's a lot of soul in it. I didn't know which direction that song was going to go in. Sometimes they surprise me. But every single one I'm very proud of.
Okay. We're going to watch a video of PJ Harvey, one of your favorites.
I love her.
What do you love about her?
She has so much fire. She's such a strong artist, and she just has such a unique vision, and she's always pushing people. She's very provocative, and she's intriguing to me, and she writes great music.
Okay, which single are we gonna see?
This is called "This Is Love."
This is Love, PJ Harvey. We'll be watching Alanis Morissette's video. She is maybe somebody that a lot of women could compare themselves to, considering her lyrics. When she first came out in Europe, everybody was wild about her. How do you see your own lyrics? Do you think that they're...
They are so... It's funny, because I didn't start writing lyrics until I was about 17. They're very stream of consciousness type writing that I do when I write them. And it's very... Sometimes I write about things that I didn't even know I knew about, or things that are kind of floating around in my mind that I didn't know were there. So it's a very natural, pure thing that goes on. It just kind of comes out.
I just can imagine when you're at a young age, your ideas can change very fast, and you have a different point of view. So when you look back on your lyrics, is it sometimes you think, oh my God?
I mean, of course. I mean, there's definitely lyrics that, like Twilight was one of the first songs that I wrote. And there, I think, God, if I was to write that song now, I feel like the lyrics would be definitely different. Sometimes I think they'd be better. And then I think there's such an innocence to that song, and I don't think I could, mimic that hope that I had in the song and when I was so young and writing it the way I had. And you have to kind of just accept it and be like, that's the place that I was, and that is what it is, and it's still, it still penetrates, and you kind of have to. I mean, I'm definitely a different artist now, but I love the song just as much.
What's your favorite Alanis Morissette song?
My favorite Alanis Morissette song.
Do you like more Alanis Morissette?
I don't know. I loved her first. Jagged Little Pill was such a trip. I mean, the whole thing. Yes. You listen to it front to back. I like that whole body of work together. I thought each one kind of played off each other in such a cool way. Of course, You Ought to Know was like kind of blew you away because it was just so out of left field. But I don't know. I can't pick a favorite.
Okay, well, just do You Ought to Know. That's a good one. So we just talked about you growing and maybe looking different on your first album now as you did when you were right in it. What did you learn for the next album? What did you learn that you definitely want to be on the next one?
Well, I just know that I'm already at a place as a songwriter that's different than I was when I first wrote this one, which, it's not even out yet. So I have a little while to go before I even get back into the studio and kind of do the whole next round. But there's a lot of kind of sounds and chords that are new to me that I'm discovering. And so melodically, I think it's going to be just different. But it's always the same. It's always coming from the same place to me. I think I'm not going to come out with a hip-hop album, But it just would be me more advanced or as a stronger songwriter, I think.
Okay. So there's a tour planned in America for you. I saw that on your site, is that right?
There's a what?
Is a tour?
Oh, yes. I'll be touring for the rest of my life. No, I'll be everywhere in the States, and I'll be probably going on my own tour in September. And I plan on traveling all over the world.
Were you comfortable from the beginning, like performing for the audience?
I wasn't at first because I never thought of myself as a musician that performed. It was just something I'd done for fun. So the first time I written a song and I had I wanted to play it for my friends, I kind of chickened out. And by the time they were there and looking at me and I was sitting there ready to play, I couldn't do it with them looking at me. And I kind of made them turn around and face the other way. And then I could do it. And obviously I got over that pretty fast. The first time I really performed in a club setting, it was magical, and I was like, this is totally what I want to do. But it was a little rough in the beginning.
Yeah, do you talk a lot when you perform?
Sometimes. It depends on my mood. It's just always just me being me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, just how you feel that day.
Yeah, it's very... You never know what you're going to get.
Okay, well, that's good. Are we going to see you playing live maybe in the nearby future?
In the future, absolutely.
Okay, well, thank you very much for
Thank
being
you.
here. Thank you for co-hosting the show with me.
Of course.
And good luck with everything.
Thank you so much.
Okay, dit was Vanessa Carlton, Late and Lazy.
This is the Music Factory.